You can. Good morning. This is Maria Piegler with socialmediaonlineclasses.com, and I am coming to you live from the Quilt Professionals Network Conference. These lovely ladies here are all professional quilters, and this morning we are doing a live social media strategy workshop. This is a rare opportunity to attend a live workshop with me. I do not do free webinars because I do absolutely no sales or pitching in my webinars. So this is an opportunity for you to get to watch a social media strategy workshop with me live. So I am going to, okay, that's just part of socialmediaonlineclasses.com. I offer social able to access. And this is going to show you a strategy class.
The camera's on Kathleen. Change
Oh.
back to you.
Okay, thank you. I offer this for free. It's the very first thing that I recommend that our paid members take. I offer this as a free class to anyone who wants to take it because it's that important. Without a strategy, you are just going to be floating around in social media, wasting your time. And so you want to be able to laser focus what you're doing in social media. And so that's what we're going to be doing this morning. And Lisa, I sent you an email last night.
Yes, I
Did you
saw
forward
it
it?
this morning. I have not forwarded it yet.
Lisa's going to forward you an email that's going to give you the opportunity to sign up here. And you'll be able to access all of this.
It's reversed, so if they're looking at the screen in the video, it's gonna be backwards. You're standing. You can't really see the screen.
And the infographic is what we're really going to be looking at. I'm going to show that to y'all really big this morning. And we're going to use this as kind of our guide. And this is going to be hugely interactive this morning. We're going to be talking about this in a lot of detail. And y'all are going to come away with a strategy for your unique business. So there are 6 different elements of your social media strategy. And really this comes down to my journalism background and the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, why, and also how. It's a great way for you to really nail down how you're going to get results in social media marketing. Because what I hear from a lot of people is there are too many social networks, I spend too much time on it, I don't know where I'm supposed to be, and I feel like nobody sees my posts. So this is going to help you avoid that. And the thing that we're going to start with is up here: who is your customer? Now, we talked about this some last night. So we know that our customer is what age bracket?
65.
65. You know that that is the age of the dedicated quilter. 65, so you know that. The gender, women, you know that for the most part. Their location. Now that's going to differ for everybody. And really the cool thing about this is that even though we're going through the same workshop and the same questions, your strategies are all going to be very different. So for Sharon, the location of your clients will probably be local. For Lisa, your clients aren't necessarily going to be local. So you need to be able to say whether your clients are going to be local, regional, national, international, whether they're online or through a brick and mortar. Will you be reaching them in person? Whether or not they have a college degree isn't going to be that important for what we're doing, but in the class and here today, we're going to actually dig down deeper about who your customer is, because you need to be able to identify who are, it's not enough to say quilters. Sharon's customer is not going to be the same as Mary's customer, is not going to be the same as Lisa's customer. And Lisa's even said, I know that I have 2 groups of customers. I have dyers and I have quilters. So you need to be able to pin down the characteristics and the qualities of your target audience. And that's what I want you to do right now. I want you to start listing the qualities of the people who are your clients. So Sharon, who are the people who come to you for long-arm quilting?
People who have been coming to us themselves for years and finding no one to do it. People who need large clothes done and can only do small clothes themselves. And sometimes new quilters.
Thank you. Okay, and so for those of you on Facebook Live who are not able to hear that possibly, Sharon said it's possibly new quilters, people who have large quilts that they don't or can't do themselves, and quilters who are older who really cannot, handle those quilts. So what you've done is you've identified it's not going to be all quilters. It's going to be these specific groups. Now, what I also like to do is to flip that. Who's not going to be in your target audience? Because this allows you to weed out the people that are not going to ever be interested in what you're doing. So who would not be in your target audience?
People who own a long arm machine themselves already. People who like to do the whole thing from start to finish. That can change.
People who don't want to spend their money.
Oh, well, yes.
How about
right.
people who work smaller?
Oh, that's true. People
Yeah.
who work in small
Yes, people
size.
who work smaller. Okay, so what you've done is narrow down your target audience to make it easier for you to reach them.
Putting it on the screen.
So is there anybody here who would like help in identifying your customer?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Okay, Nancy. So tell me what you know about your customer.
I know one person has bought one scarf,
Okay.
and when I put my stuff in this little store, she says, "Oh, this is like the most expensive thing in my entire store. I don't think it's going to sell." So I gave her 2 of them, but she says, "You never know." And my $10 items are still there. My $25 items are still there. One of my scarves actually sold for $80. So that's just blows my mind, but
Okay, that brings up a really interesting point.
I've run into that.
Is your customer the person who buys the product, or is it the shop owner?
She's also
That's what my husband says. It's probably the shop owner.
Right, it's the shop owner,
Just
because
her.
those are
she's
your
back in,
gatekeepers.
well.
You've got to get your art into the shop before you can get it in front of an audience.
Right.
So for you, it's going to be the shop. It's going to be the shop owner. So what you've got to do is to be able to identify what are the shops who are going to be interested in what I offer and who have an audience who's willing to pay for what I'm doing. And so tell me about the shop that sold your scarf.
Okay, I got a good feeling from it when I walked in. However, now that I've walked back in it, I think it's extremely cluttered. I mean, it looks like she needs to do some editing, some major editing, because I see the same stuff every time I go in there.
Okay. Tell me where she's located.
She's located on Main Street in Medford, New Jersey.
And tell me about Medford.
Medford's this tiny little town that's near me, but Medford has a reputation for being
high-end.
wealthy people that
That's what
People who not only can afford it but are willing to pay for it. Okay. That's important. It's not just can they pay for it, it's will they? Are they going to part with their money for what it is that I'm offering? So you know that you're going to go for shops that are in wealthy areas where people like to spend their money on things that they see in the shop.
Right.
Like what Larry was talking about, the BMW driving
Yes.
teenage and up children's demographic
Yes.
neighborhoods, which, Medford, I have a friend who lives there. somebody in the fine craft world described her, she was a weaver, her client as affluent postmenopausal women. And there's a lot of overlap in that.
I got it. I
Dem-
finally got it. That's how long it took.
Okay, woo! Kathleen got it. You get to pick from the goodie bag.
I
Hey!
just waited. I looked for something.
When you get a win, you get to pick from the goodie bag. Okay. Okay. So does that help, Nancy?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, maybe I should, I don't know, it seems like,
Is there more than one shop on Main Street that could hold your stuff?
yes.
Then go to the ones that look higher end.
Well, the second one, I went into the second one and it was nothing but hand knitted items. And I really didn't,
Okay.
You know, you want to
Yeah.
be careful with doing that
You gotta find
because
something
you want to
that
make
fits.
sure that that shop owner feels like you're treating her fairly. She doesn't want to be
Right.
competing with the other shops
no,
in the area.
no, I would not take my stuff into the other shop.
So
Well, it's more than
I
one
you
shop.
want to
exactly for that
identify
exact
those,
same reason.
those towns that are going to, you know, be profitable for you. Okay, Vicki, let's talk about your customer.
Well, I broke down who's buying fiber,
Right.
but I have a lot of different venues. I'm not just one thing. So I have art that hangs on the wall, and I have I don't have one on me, but she does.
Nancy's wearing a pin.
And I also with my scraps
Okay.
I make
Okay, I'm
fiber
gonna show
art
this
pins.
to everybody on Facebook Live. Okay.
Wearable art.
Can you
Oh, here it is.
show that? Okay. Okay, awesome. Very nice. Very nice.
Which is a good thing because it gives me two different ways of approaching it. Normally what I have found is if it's a gallery, a shop, or even an art center, and the wall art goes in, which is more expensive,
Flip.
and I can get the fiber art pins in, like there's an art center that I'm an associate artist member of. So the art goes on the wall, and then the pins can go into a shop. I sell a lot of those. They are my bread and butter.
Okay.
They give me the money to buy the other stuff that I want to make for the wall art.
Right.
I'm lucky if I sell one of the wall arts because they're more expensive.
Right. Okay.
So I can market the pins, but I try to keep the things together. So I try to keep the things together because what happens is my work is very unusual, and what I find is people are attracted to it because it's different,
Right.
and then they want to know about it, and then they're like, "Wow, that's really great," but I don't want to spend $400 on that piece, but I will spend $30
On a pen, yeah.
on a pin because then I get a piece of you,
There you go.
Yep.
and I do know that.
Okay.
It's just finding those venues that is the most difficult.
Okay.
Like she said, that I know Medford, and I know that that area. That's the challenge. Is and I put down if people are buying fiber, where are they buying?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
So tell me. Okay. So tell me where. Tell me about the place. Is it a gallery or a shop where you're selling your pins?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Mine's in a gallery
Okay. It's in
that has a shop in it.
Right. Okay.
So it's a big art center, big galleries, and then in the back they have a shop, so they can have, so I can put it in there, I can pull it out, and go out, that's a great venue. That's just one,
Okay.
and it's in an economically depressed area.
Okay, that's interesting. So $30 is probably something that's affordable art for that.
Right, and that area is not depending on the people that live there to come in and purchase.
Right.
You need people to come from the outside.
Yeah, you need
You need
tourists.
people to stop in on their way to the shore.
Right. Right.
You need people who are attracted maybe to the art opening, a big thing every third Friday, and people will come into town, they'll go out to dinner, they'll go to art galleries. That's when you see things sell.
Okay. I'm going to give you the advice that I got from my art coach. For a while, I was doing art quilts, and my art coach is a woman she's a watercolor painter, and she has a marketing degree from Harvard. And she does watercolor art and oil paintings, and she has them in galleries throughout the Southeast. And she said what she does is she literally gets a map out, and she does a circle of a certain amount of miles that she's willing to travel to put her art in those galleries. And she will go and visit the galleries. And one of the first things that she wants to do is to do what Nancy did. Walk in, and what is the feeling I get? You know, that's just something that you can't quantify. You know, and then you just want to talk, don't even tell them that you have something to offer. And so, you know, just see where you get a good vibe. And for those galleries that you do, then what you can do, what I recommend is to send them an email with a link to your website showing this is what I offer. Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to want to see a portfolio of what you have to offer, what the price points are. They also want to see that you're not going to undercut them. They want to see that you are charging the same price if you have your art on your website, that you're charging the same price that they would be selling it for. They don't want to see your pins for $30.
I don't sell for my website.
Okay, perfect.
My website is for people to see what I do,
Okay.
to see who I am. So let's say a guild would want to hire me to do a lecture, but they don't know who I am. They can go to the website, they can see what I've written about myself, they can see all the different areas of quilting that I come to. So it's more for information. I don't
Art on it.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's all you want to do.
There's gallery after gallery after gallery.
That's all you want to do. You want a gallery owner is going to say, I need to see a portfolio, and you can say, go to this page. That's all you need.
Right.
And that way you don't have to spend a lot of time, because it's impossible to get the gallery owner when you're visiting. You know, usually what you're going to get is somebody who's either an artist who's working there.
That's
or
what
just,
happened to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so email helps you kind of break through that. You know, the other way, I'm going to give y'all a really, really good tip. If you want to make industry connections, a great way to do it is through social media and engaging with their accounts. Because the one thing that everybody wants on social media is engagement. They want those likes, they want comments, they want shares, and they're hard to get. So if a gallery owner has a Facebook page, start commenting on it, like it, you know, be a regular. And, you know, that's, it's not brown nosing, it's smart business.
That might be a better approach, because I have done the walk-in. Some would say they worked at Signature. Remember your
Signature design.
Yeah,
That's
in Morristown.
this is Morristown.
Yeah, I went in there. They had some fiber art,
Yeah, they do.
and I checked it out first, and then I spoke. Oh no, we don't take fiber art because we never sell it.
Really?
But they had some on the
They
wall.
have a weaver in there already.
Did you ask them what was that?
I did. Well, we have that, but you know, we're not really interested in that.
It could be that they have a special relationship with that person.
Might be.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I tried another one place. Unusual, not a traditional gallery shop. I think it was like a garden center. High end, not a high, not plants, like
I know exactly.
high end tools for gardening. Little sculptures made out of garden gnomes and
Right. I know exactly.
but it wasn't cheap, and it was expensive stuff, and it was
For
artist
people
made.
with taste.
Right.
You know,
Right. So I actually made a proposal because one of the things I do is flower fountain. And I thought this place would be perfect.
Yeah.
People love gardening and flowers, and wouldn't this be great?
Wouldn't it be great to do a workshop there?
But they said, no, we're not interested. I do have a fantasy. And the fantasy is, in Delaware, the big botanical place you go and visit.
Hagley?
Longwood Gardens.
Longwood Gardens?
Longwood Gardens. I would
Yeah.
love to establish some sort of relationship with them so I could pick all their flowers and then pound them with a hammer into fabric. Because I saw some little felted things, like one of this, one
Want
of
to get
that.
people in.
Really,
It's
really
like a
expensive.
Mother's Day thing
Like a
you're
big
doing.
markup.
That is totally achievable.
And you know,
That is a fantasy I've had, and I actually wrote it down. Like,
Vicki, that's your goal up here.
that's my high goal.
That's your high goal, and you can absolutely do that. You can absolutely do that.
How would you go about doing it?
Well, the first thing that I would do is I would start engaging with them on social media. I would like their page, I would start commenting on things. And then what you want to do is you want to find out who in this group or who in your network knows somebody that works at Longwood Gardens. And you'll be
You work there?
surprised.
My husband delivers weapons.
See?
See, I need to know who you would who I would talk to. Because
Exactly.
they don't have anything about what I'm doing. There's nothing there. In other words, I would be pitching a totally new concept and new idea.
And here's also
And they'd
the
be
way.
able to sell it in their gift shop.
Absolutely. A little gift shop there, and their stuff is
High-end.
Right.
high-end,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
very expensive. I mean, a little felted purse like this was like $85.
And you're local. You know, that's what.
Well, not exactly.
You would bring
Well,
people
but
into
you're-
the gardens.
Within driving.
You're not made in China.
No, I'm not made in China.
You know,
Are
that,
you
and
interested
so,
in pounding orchids?
Orchids. I don't think orchids would work though. Aren't they juicy?
Slightly, you can.
Yes,
get
they are.
Oh.
They can be
Give it a
thick.
try.
Projector
I'd have to
manual.
I've never had an orchid to
And
pound.
sometimes they'll have flowers that break off the plants or something.
Yeah,
like that.
that's, yeah. I used to have a connection, I did this, that you'll like this idea. I found a flower shop where when they make their arrangements, they throw anything that's no good in a trash can.
right.
And I used to go there and pick the trash. They let me come in for free and pick the trash.
American pickers.
And, I mean, they're perfectly good. I just want their petals, I want their trash. I don't want beautiful looking things.
Here is another way
That's a fantasy, I completely forgot
to
that.
get into, you know, sometimes places have such big walls, and
Yes.
that's a terrible phrase to use now. But, you know, they have so many layers that you have to go through that it's almost impossible. And I'm going to give you all an example. When I published Color Mastery, I wanted the major distributors to carry it. Now, I had no problem with Checker and, I can't remember the other one.
Brewer.
Brewer, yeah, they were fine with it. I wanted Moda to carry it. There was another fabric distributor that I wanted to carry it. And so I went to Quilt Market and I approached them and they were like, first of all, Quilt Market is the wrong time to approach them because they are all about making money.
But
If you're
you
not
need
in
an
their
appointment,
space,
too.
They don't want to talk to you. And so I sent them a copy of the book and they were like, yeah, it looks good, we'll think about it, and I never heard from them again. But then Moda approached me and they said, we're hearing that your book is good for beginners who want to learn how to use color in their quilts and would like to carry it.
Because it might
So,
increase their fabric sale, you
sometimes-
never know.
You know, so sometimes stop focusing on that big thing and focus on your grassroots. And those are the people who are going to create a demand for you to get those
I
things.
just had a wild idea what you're saying. Social media, what if I put that out there?
Yeah,
I mean, this has just been in my head.
right.
This is the first time I've ever spoken and said this fantasy
You
I
have
had.
no idea.
When I went there and I saw what they had, and I had just started pounding. Now I'm experienced pounding person.
And I'm going to tell you a really easy way to get Longwood Gardens' attention on social media too. Tomorrow.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So that I don't leave. I tune in again.
Okay.
I just
Same
completely forgot about
bat
that
time,
fantasy.
same bat
See, because you
station.
said fantasies.
Why not?
So do you see how
We have lots of
really
those.
getting specific on who your customer is so important?
You just made me do that.
It's really, really important. And the other thing that you can do is when you're on Facebook and you do a post, you can target those people. You can narrow down your audience. You can do it with hashtags, but you can also select an audience on Facebook. You can say people who are in a specific geographic location, women who are, age 50 and older, who
Really?
like Longwood Gardens.
I just realized something. I had a garden club just recently call me and ask me to come and lecture to
See.
them.
Oh,
Only on my pounding.
And see,
And I'm
somebody
doing that
there,
next
somebody
month.
there,
somebody
I
there's
bet
a
you
member.
they would have that connection.
somebody knows
And
somebody,
I
girl.
said that
Yes.
to them
yes,
when I wow them with all my stuff.
yes, and I will show y'all how to narrow.
Oh
that
my God,
audience.
this could be a whole
Um,
thing. Look at me.
I can show you how to do
Yeah,
that.
this
on
look
our
tonight.
coaching
You
mark
need
and show
to
you how
check
do it
to see
tomorrow.
if they have classes at Longwood, because they have classes at Winterthur where people come and
Mhm.
check to see if Longwood offers classes. That would be a perfect class for you to teach at Longwood.
Right.
Winterthur could be another, your backup, because their gardens are spectacular. They're just not Longwood. But it's the same
Yeah,
clientele.
Same audience. Yeah, same audience.
and
yeah.
getting into one will make it easier to get into the other.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so excited right now. I have panic in my heart.
You have an aha moment.
I am.
You're getting your mojo.
I now have something to focus on.
You're getting
Everything you
mojo.
say, I can think how that would work. I'm so happy. Because I really don't want to beat the sidewalk
Right,
anymore.
right.
I'm
Yeah,
tired. I'm tired.
yeah.
I've done that for all my life.
Exactly, exactly. You don't. It's just you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. Okay.
I have a question.
The second element in your social media strategy is where is your audience? So once you know who your customer is, where are they? How are you going to reach them? First of all, are they online? Quilters, yes. Yes, they are. Where do they shop? Well, it depends on what it is that you're selling. You know, they're probably not going to go for long arm quilting. They're going to shop someplace different than they are for fiber art, than they are for hand dyed fabric or for a quilt vacation. That's going to be very different. But where they learn about you is probably going to be in social media or online somewhere. But what you want to be able to do is identify where they are. And I'm gonna be very specific here. For quilters, where's your audience? Facebook. They're on Facebook. And I told y'all yesterday, Facebook now has the reputation of being the senior social network because people who use it are primarily 40 and over. So Facebook is going to be very big for you guys. Pinterest. People are on Pinterest. Pinterest is huge for quilting. If you look up quilting tutorials, they're all over. And I'm going to also give you a little tip about Pinterest. Pinterest is awesome for your search engine optimization because Pinterest is basically a search engine. It's not as smart as Google or YouTube, but if you name a board smartly, it will show up in Google search.
I'm always having you post like
I have one picture. It's not my own work, but your top performing pin is, and it's like, okay, well now I have to make fabric that looks like that because I know how.
Yeah.
But it's just this one picture keeps showing up in my weekly notifications.
the Kandinsky thing. How do you use it?
How do you use Pinterest?
Yeah, in other words, I'm on it, and I've got boards, and I got a million people look. Anytime I
have
put
a lot
something,
of followers.
people
a lot of
follow me.
I have
But
a
I
lot
don't
of
know how you
people that-
use that. How do you turn that? How do you?
That's a really good question. One of the things that you want to do is you want to encourage people to go to your website or go to your Facebook page. It doesn't matter which one. So when you create a pin, put a link at the bottom. Say if you're interested and would like to see more, go to my website or go to my Facebook page. It's even better if you have a freebie that you can offer. And if you do email marketing, how many people here do email marketing? Okay.
What exactly do you mean? Oh, I guess it's a website.
MailChimp. Using like bulk email. I'm a big believer in using social media for what I call lead generation, and that is getting people to your website interested in something and then getting them to sign up for a freebie, and then you can get to them in their email inbox. How many of you get my email newsletter? How many emails do you get from me a week?
Too much.
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah, well, you can always opt out. Because that's what it takes to make a living. So I make no apologies for that.
I've opted out of pretty much everybody else. So.
Right, thank you, which tells me you're getting a lot of value from what I offer, so I'm honored, I'm honored. I'll tell you, I send more than I would like. I wish I could send less, but that's what it takes to generate revenue, so that's what I do.
How much time do you spend a week or even a day doing social media?
15 to 30 minutes,
That's it?
that's it,
A day or a week?
a day.
Is that just posting or reading everything that comes in? Because I'm on my computer probably 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
I'm ruthless with my time.
Yeah.
Y'all talked about focus. I'm ruthless. I make a list every day of the 6 things that I want to get done that day. I don't always get those done, but if it's not on my list, I'm not on Facebook reading posts. You know, I go into Facebook.
So if you don't read other people's posts, why do you expect them to read yours?
I do. I just don't do it until I'm done with that list.
Oh,
of
with those
6.
lists, okay.
You know, like I said, I'm ruthless with getting things done. So I don't spend a whole lot of time. Now, of course, when you're new to social media, it's going to take some time for you to get used to it. So you're not going to be able to do it in 15 minutes a day. But eventually, my hope is that you enjoy it. You know, I'll tell you about one of my clients, Jennifer Dick. She's a quilter, and she is a multi-published author. I think she has 6 books now. She used to be an editor with Kansas City Star until they closed their book division. And if you want to see some Pinterest boards that generate business, go to Jennifer Dick's Pinterest page.
DIX?
D-I-C-K, but it might be under, her business name is 42 Quilt. She has some of the most beautiful Pinterest boards, and they are the #1 driver of traffic to her website. So Pinterest works. It works. If you know how to use it. And so if you would like some help on that, we can do that in your one-on-one coaching. My Pinterest 101 class will teach you how to do that.
Yes, and also if you have an Etsy store, you can link that
Yes.
to Pinterest and
Yes.
go back and forth. So every time you upload something into Etsy, it automatically posts on Pinterest.
And you know, the beautiful thing,
That's what I want to do, yeah.
the beautiful thing about doing something like that is if someone saves your pin to their board, and let's say it's to your Etsy store or to your website or whatever it is, when they save it, all their friends see it, and they start saving it. Now, I have my most popular pin on Pinterest is the original infographic that I did for Facebook, which is over 5 years old. It's really very primitive. I've done much better ones, but it just took on a life of its own. And it just it's the Energizer Bunny. It keeps going and going and going, and I don't have to do anything. Pinterest is doing it for me. So Facebook is where quilters are, Pinterest, YouTube. We've already established that we've all watched quilting tutorials on YouTube. You want to be on YouTube. And I'm going to say this, even more than Facebook. Even more than Facebook Live. YouTube Live. Because people are on YouTube searching for something. They're looking for something. They're not doing that on Facebook. On Facebook, they want to see what their friends are doing. You know, okay, I'm logging onto Facebook, what's going on? You know, so they might come across, if they're your fan or if somebody is sharing your video, they might see it, but they have a much greater chance of finding it on YouTube Live or on YouTube. You can always put it on both. That's a little bit more technology.
On what?
Both.
on
Both Facebook Live and YouTube. And you can do it either way with a recorded video or a live video. It doesn't matter. Live is easier. Kathleen, we talked about, see, this is it.
Right, but I never even got to that point because it took until my screen, so I had no idea what happened.
I got it.
What happened in the 30 minutes while I was waiting for it to load.
Yeah, it's your Wi-Fi. we probably all have our laptops, tablets, and phones connected to their poor Wi-Fi, so we're stretching into the max. So, yes, Sharon. No? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you had a question.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking of how far behind I am of everyone. I have no website. I have 30 friends on Facebook.
Never
That's
compare
it.
yourself to other people because we're all on different paths.
Right.
Right. No, I understand that, but I'm saying I know I need to really change. Is what I'm saying.
Sharon, the
I'm
beautiful thing, I'm going to show y'all something tomorrow in the making the most of your marketing. I'm going to show you this guy who, I took a watercolor class from him. He's an international watercolorist, and he has a horrible website, and he doesn't really update it. But his Facebook page,
I have not drunk out of this.
Gosh. And, you guys are really lucky in that you have a visible business. Quilting. Sharon, you can take a photo when you load a quilt on your long arm, saying it's ready to go, and then you can take a photo of it after.
Do I need to get the customer's permission to no?
Well,
I've wondered that, but I've seen other
you
people
might,
do that.
if it's something they're going to enter into a show, you might. So you might want to say, is it okay if I post this on Facebook? That's probably a good idea.
I always ask, especially if there's a person in it,
Yeah. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, if I end up posting you on my website for a QPN conference, I'll probably ask you, okay, if I use this photo I took of you last year.
The point that I'm making here is that you don't use what you're comfortable with and use what you have. This gentleman has a Facebook photo album of over 400 of his watercolors, and each of them are educational. And what he does is he says, like this photo album, and you're going to get a notification anytime I add a new photo to it. So I basically subscribe to his.
Is that true to anybody who likes any page? Once you like a page, you're going to always.
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
No. What happens on Facebook is once you like a page, you'll start seeing it. And when you like a page, you can actually be very specific. You can either just like it, or you can like it and get notifications. That's when you'll see the little red, thing up here saying, oh, they've posted. But if you like a photo album, you will get a notification every time he posts something new. And it will also show in your news feed. And it's the smartest thing I think I've ever seen anybody do on Facebook. And I've never seen anybody teach it. It's just something that he figured out. And it's super smart. I mean, I have spent so much time in that photo album trying to figure out how he does what he does. And,
Painting wise, not Facebook wise.
Excuse me?
Painting wise.
Painting, right. And the one thing that I would add to that is if you're going to do that, put a call to act, put a link. Put a link to, your website, put a link to your Etsy store, whatever it is that you have. Put a link saying, here's where you can go and get this. So that's definitely something that you can do. So don't feel like you are behind. Don't, and the one thing that I tell everybody is, and what you'll see in my classes are, my lessons are 10 minutes. Because my goal for you is not to be overwhelmed, is to take those baby steps. Have one small goal. To post a photo on Facebook. I want you to get in, take your lesson, get out and go do it. And be successful with it. Get that win. And then go to the next, then go to the next thing that you want to do. So, I'm a big believer in baby steps. Those small wins are what is going to keep you on track. Okay. So where's your audience? We said Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, and also Instagram. Instagram is huge, especially if you know what hashtags to use.
You know what? I don't know what a hashtag.
I don't either.
Okay. A
It looks like a
hashtag.
sharp sign.
I know what
No,
it
I know
looks
what it
like.
looks
It's
like,
the
and I
pound
see it
sign.
on
It's the pound sign. They just renamed it.
Yeah.
They'll say hashtag this
Yeah, you see it a lot
but
on
I don't.
television.
I've never done it. I don't know really
You see,
understand what it
basically
means.
what it is a way. It's. I love it. Let me show you guys this. Okay, let me show you this. I have.
It's a search tag, really.
I have
keyword search, really.
One of the smartest things
Where are hashtags?
that you can do.
You can just
Make it up.
I don't understand.
I just, when I post, well, I'm not going to give this away, but I will. I just posted my Facebook picture for Maria, and I've got 1 like.
I did too.
Oh, darn. It's going to be head to head here.
Within 10 minutes of posting
Yeah.
it.
But I
you
used
like
You'll get a
hashtag
post saying-
SMOC for social media online
Not the
classes.
right.
Okay, I liked and shared the first one that
Number
I saw
sign
on my
SMOC.
page. The first one that came out because I am not going to annoy my friends
She doesn't
with
refer to herself as
7 shares. From,
that
I mean,
She
that,
does in places.
you know,
Because hashtag social
who
media
really
online
cares?
classes.
They're going to stop reading it. And so I did the first one that showed up.
Okay.
I'm done.
You mean from us?
From us, yeah.
Okay.
Hashtags are a way to find your people, your topic, or whatever it is that you're interested in on certain social networks, not all of them. Hashtags are huge on 2 social networks, Instagram and Twitter. Those are the 2 big ones. People on Instagram are a little hashtag crazy. Instagram allows you to use up to 30 hashtags.
Yeah, I was wondering, why do you have 2 or 3? Don't you just need 1 thing?
Well, there's like
well,
cultures of Instagram. I'll do a hashtag Dippy
Right.
Guys.
right.
For what it's worth.
Basically, it's marketing. They're just trying to cover all their bases. This is something that I highly recommend that you take a look at on my website. It's the ultimate guide to hashtags. You can download this infographic, and I have all kinds of explanations. I think I have 30 different examples of hashtags on here. This is an example from the NFL on Twitter. This was around the Super Bowl, not this year, but I think 2 years ago.
Oh, that was Inflategate.
Yeah, it was during Deflategate. And they used the hashtag SB49. That stood for Super Bowl 49. So anybody who was interested in the Super Bowl would use that hashtag on Twitter to find tweets about Super Bowl 49.
Oh, is it only on Twitter?
It's on Twitter, it's on Instagram. You can use hashtags on any social
That may
network.
be why I don't know what it is, because I'm not on either.
Right, that's why.
If somebody uses hashtag on Facebook, does it take them and you click on that, does that take you to the Twitter account? Or is that just
No.
a saying they're
Because
using
it
it?
could
I've
take you
never seen a
somewhere.
hashtag
It could take you
like
somewhere because
Yes.
I actually clicked on a hashtag.
Yes,
once.
it'll take you
It
to
takes you other
Instagram, but you need
posts
an
with the
account.
same
What it will do
hashtag.
To another
If you
post
click
that
on
the
the
guy has
Don't
done.
digress
hashtag, it
here.
will take you to all the posts that use that hashtag in that social network. So if I'm on Twitter and I click on the SB49 hashtag, it's going to show me all the tweets that use that hashtag. So it's a way to kind of drill down or narrow down your topic. I want to see what's going on with Super Bowl 49. It's a great thing. You'll see a lot of media use it, like during award shows, the Oscars.
On
You know.
The Voice, I see it on The Voice.
And they'll tell you
It's a way
what
for
hashtag
people
to
to
use,
follow
right?
something real time, but it's also a way for people to find your stuff later.
So when there's a contestant on The Voice and they have a hashtag, and if you go to, what do you have to go
Twitter.
to Twitter?
Yeah.
See, I don't do that. Then it would just be on that contestant.
It would, if that particular hashtag, yes. But I'm sure that they also have a hashtag for The Voice, and they probably have hashtags for each of the contestants.
Right, they
So
do.
you can follow.
I see it at the bottom
Right,
of
yeah.
the screen, but I never really knew what,
Never know how to
and they'll say,
find them.
hashtag this person if you like them.
Right. So it's a way for them to generate additional publicity, and while the show is airing. And the other thing is, people can go back and see what was said, during that broadcast. So a hashtag is
Oh, they put them on there.
Yeah.
They'll say,
yeah.
oh, great song,
I
and
think I got it. It's like a library book. It will be connected to something like romance World War II,
Right.
It's a
Someone
subject.
that do
Alaska,
It's a search
and
keyword.
and the author's name.
Like a keyword
Maybe those
search.
four
Keyword.
things. So
If you're a programmer,
you
you know
either
what
get
that is.
through it
Right.
from the author.
Yes.
I want a book about Alaska, or I want a book about World War II, or I want a
Maria.
romance. And
Yes.
I guess if you searched by
This
any one
Twitter
of those
thing.
things,
Should
that
we be-
book would
should
show
we
up on your
also
list.
be on Twitter? Is that an important thing for us to be on?
That's an excellent question. And my answer to that is,
Depends.
Twitter is a great way to make connections. That's what I recommend it for. That and LinkedIn. If you need to make a connection with somebody in business, for Lisa, you were saying that you were trying to get into the show. Which show was it?
Hershey.
Okay. A great way to make those connections is on Twitter and LinkedIn. And certainly they have accounts. They're doing posts.
Or
Engage with
galleries.
them. Yeah, engage with them. So, from a consumer standpoint, no, not necessarily, unless you just enjoy Twitter. It's a great way to connect with what I call industry influencers and get in front of them. It's kind of the fast track. You don't need 6 degrees of separation anymore. You just need Twitter.
So the sewing machine shop that has asked me several times to link in, and I've just ignored it. I should link in because that would be a way for me to keep professionally
Right.
up to date with him as to what's going on.
Yes. Yes.
I had a really horrible experience with LinkedIn. I don't know how I got on. Somebody must have invited me or something. And this went on for months. I said, please, I am not interested in this. Get me off of here. Please get me off of here. Please. Every day.
It's probably a
there's
group. Yeah.
And somebody probably got my email address off some group, so please don't ever put my name on your LinkedIn, whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
Because I could not get out of it. I could not unsubscribe. I could not delete. I just got so pissed, and I have a feeling I know who did it. And I don't think I ever want to speak to her again because I think she used the email list of a public group to which I
Probably. Yeah,
belong and
probably.
stole my email address
Yeah.
to use for her own
Which
nefarious purposes.
screams desperation.
LinkedIn is kind of a desperate thing anyway. It's like, it wants you to share your contacts, and when you share your, it shares all your contacts. LinkedIn
has
is
changed.
That's
scares
an
me.
easy thing to do because they really make it easy for you to hit that.
Yeah, you
button
just
by
say
mistake.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
I've-
belong to a
And-
club she belongs to.
Yep.
LinkedIn has made
It's
some
really
significant
easy to do that,
changes
because I
in
did that one time.
2017,
People were really mad at
and
me.
they no longer, what they used to do is you could search somebody else's contacts. You can't do that anymore.
That's good.
You can't do that anymore.
So that would be like stealing their contacts?
much.
Not stealing.
You know, it was
using
kind of
them.
it was a very smart market research tool if you did it right. But LinkedIn is having trouble being profitable, and so they're just trying to make more and more things a paid service. Okay, so where's your audience? We've established they're on Facebook, they're on Pinterest, on YouTube, and on Instagram. Those are going to be your big 4. That doesn't mean you have to use all 4. What you want to do is use the ones where your audience is in the highest concentration, and candidly, the one that you enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy doing it, then what's the point? You won't continue with it. So,
Or the one you're comfortable with.
right.
You know, because part of what's so overwhelming is that you think, Sharon, you're thinking, God, I don't know anything. And I'm thinking, you know, if I'm not even really totally comfortable with Facebook yet, how am I going to force myself in the middle of this busy life I live to do 2 or 3 more? So I think if I could walk away with here feeling really much more comfortable with my personal Facebook page and my professional Facebook page, I'm comfortable now with my website, you know, and that will give me, you know, a good handle on getting in touch with people. Thank you. I took the Nemo Band-Aid.
I wonder why you had a box of Band-Aids sitting in front of you. I didn't realize that you took it from her project.
She's anticipating a rough second section.
She's gonna be pounding on those keys, right?
5 days with my granddaughter.
This is what Maria does.
Question for you,
Yes.
Marion. I do not have a website. Is that a problem?
No.
Now, I have a personal Facebook account, and I just found out that I actually have a professional Facebook account, but I found that out by accident because I made the Tangled Web Creations name up because I did some research and found out nobody else was using it.
Right.
Yes,
As
I can
long
use it.
as my recommendation to you is to really use one online presence as your main communication tool. If you don't have a website, it could be Facebook. I do recommend that you use your professional page because it's going to give you a lot more tools than your personal profile. And frankly, it's just not professional to be posting
Yeah, I know.
stuff
I
on
don't
your-
want people, customers looking at my pictures of my grandkids.
Right,
you know,
right, and you don't
whatever.
want that.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you don't want that. You don't want that. So, yeah, you do not have to have a website. Okay, we are running over. So what I'm going to do is go through these. What are your goals? Okay, we talked about that yesterday, and that's really important because your goal is going to determine how you use social media. If your goal is to establish your brand or increase your visibility, then you'll probably do more conversational posts or photo posts. Images with your watermark, that's something that Madge brought up. That a really good reason to continue having a watermark or some kind of branding on your images is simply, it's a branding tool. I do that, you'll notice, with my infographics. I have a link to my website up here. I have my logo and my photo at the bottom. I do that because it's a branding tool, but I also do it because people share it without giving credit. And that's okay. That's why I put them online. But that way, I don't have to rely on them to remember. You know, it's built in. But if you are wanting to expand your business, if you want to generate traffic to your website or grow your sales and revenue, you're going to be using social media in a different way. You're going to be much more strategic with it. You will probably almost always have a call to action in your posts so that people can go to your website with a link so that they can go see something in your online store so that they can take action in some way. You don't want all of your posts to be about, spend money with me, but you want to be making sure that it's easy for people to take the action that you want them to take, whether it's clicking through to your website or buying something or making an appointment with, bringing my quilt in. You want them, your goals are going to determine how you use social media, and that's why that's important. When will you communicate? This is simply about being consistent. The biggest, I will tell you, in the 5 years that I've had social media onlineclasses.com, the biggest challenge that I see in my clients is lack of focus. They get excited, they have really
That's
good
me.
intentions, and then life gets in the way. And it happens to us all. But you need to be consistent. That doesn't necessarily have to mean every day, but you need to be consistent. And rely on each other, rely on this group to help you be accountable, to help keep you motivated. But identify when you're going to communicate and where that's going to be. Is it going to be on your social networks? And if that's the case, what's going to be your primary one? You don't need to post as often on Pinterest as you do on Facebook. I call Facebook a high-maintenance social network. It's like an infant. Constant care and feeding. Pinterest is more like a teenager. You can kind of, just give it what it needs and it's going to go off on its own. You don't really have to do all that kind of stuff. If you have a blog, Connie, did I hear you say that you're starting to blog?
Yeah.
On your website? Okay. A blog is an excellent way to communicate because that blog can then be what you share on social media. It's a great form of content.
So it's not a bad idea that when I
keeping me
post something on my
motivated.
website, which I try to do once a month,
This is like a built-in
photo
deadline
and
in my head.
writing, that I can abbreviate that paragraph and use the same photo and that abbreviated paragraph on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you can even post the link on Facebook, and Facebook is smart enough that it can probably pull in the photo in the first few lines of what you posted on your website.
Sometimes it'll
Yeah,
give you a
try
choice
that.
of
If you want
photos
to.
too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can just click and it'll
Yeah,
add.
yeah.
Sometimes you need to let a little time elapse between when you make that post on your blog or your website
Yeah.
before Facebook will see anything to.
All right, this one right here is really important because strategies are nothing without execution. How will you execute your strategy? How are you going to do this? This comes down to the devil is in the details. What do you need to learn? For your goal, to accomplish your goal, if you want to get into Longwood Gardens, what do you need to learn?
I'm thinking.
You know, what do you need to learn? I bet Longwood Gardens has an Instagram account.
Yep.
Probably do.
See, I'm not on Instagram.
You know, you would
It's not
love
hard.
Instagram. You really would. I don't know anybody who uses it who doesn't love it. And I kind of came to a kicking and screaming, but it's a fun social network.
So I created an Instagram account.
That's where the
I never
crafters are.
posted
you know.
anything
That's
to it.
okay. There's a
The
lot of people
crafters
who
are
do that.
lurking there.
So what do you need to learn? What tools are necessary? If you want to start doing live video, you know, you'll need a smartphone or a computer. You know, what tool, and the great thing is that to do your marketing, you really need very little. You know, it's
Take
that
your
there are
phone out
so
of your
many
pocket and take a
easy
picture.
free
That's it.
tools that you don't need a whole lot. What you do need are images. You need visuals. Social networking and online and marketing, it's all visual now. So you've got to have good visuals. Have y'all ever heard of a tool called Canva?
I've
Recently I
seen
heard
somebody who said they use it, but that's all I know.
I saw it somewhere.
Canva, I'm going to show y'all.
It's
Sharon,
okay.
I'm
Our
going
next
into-
session
I don't know if I
is
saw it on
Okay.
Etsy recently.
optional.
I'm going into Sharon's coaching
Yes,
time.
you do have.
Canva is a free tool that you can use to create images.
How do you spell that?
Canva.com.
Canvas without an S.
Right.
Right.
These are all images that I've created in Canva for free. And it's really easy. And the great thing is, I have a tutorial video that you guys can watch to learn how to do it. What I do is I show you how to create your own stock photo library from one image. How to take one image of a quilt and use it in about 10 different ways. And so it's free. If you need an image for your marketing that you don't have, you pay $1. No, it's just, this is kind of revolutionized the way people do marketing.
This is yours?
Is this, no. Oh, this is my account.
So it says how to automatically send Instagram posts to your blog. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's mine.
That's
That
an
means
that's an image that she.
That's all mine.
Children classes.
These are all images that I have used in social media. Also, see this right here? The contest
Yes.
images, I created those in Canva. I did that this morning.
So you paid $1 for the let's just call it the baseline,
The blank canvas.
the crust, and you're going to add
These were all free. I think maybe this flower image I paid $1 for.
Okay.
So
But a lot
for-
of them are free,
A
and
lot
then
of them
you
are
just
free.
add what you want, and then
Right.
save it to your account.
And I will send you guys a link. Lisa, I will send it to you, and you can send it out to everybody else on how to use Canva, because I'm a big, big believer in it. Okay.
It'd be faster than learning Illustrator.
You know what, the most important thing I have learned over the last year is probably how to do screenshots.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
That's so.
because nobody's mentioned that. I mean, that's how I get a lot of my free stuff, and I don't even pay $1. I just say,
Yeah.
oh, I like that.
Yeah,
And
well,
if it's
don't
not
get caught doing
copyrighted,
that.
I can
Yeah.
Get caught doing that.
And then, who is responsible? That's when you're a solopreneur, it's going to be you. But how will you measure if it's successful? This is something that I don't see a lot of people do, and it's a lost opportunity. Because most social networks will give you some idea of what your most popular posts are. And you want to take a look at that, and you want to do more of what's popular and less of what's not. That seems like a no-brainer, but I will tell you, when I started out on YouTube with social media online classes, I started off with a lot of talking head videos, and I called it my social media minute. And I would just talk about something, and then I also had some kind of screencasts, like how to do something. Well, by looking at my YouTube metrics, people did not want to see my talking head videos. They wanted to learn how to do a Facebook post. They wanted to learn how to do something specific. And so I was able to give people more of what they wanted because I looked at those metrics. Bless you. So it doesn't, and in your classes, you're going to learn how to do all of that. I step you through how to log into Facebook and see your most popular posts, how to see, this is really important too. Who are your dedicated clients? Who are your dedicated fans? And I'll tell you a little story about this. I know I'm going over, and Sharon, we might have to switch your coaching. Jennifer Dick, the woman who's a quilter and who was published, she had a new book coming out, and she got some coaching with me on how she could really sell more copies because she wanted to ensure that she kept her relationship with this publishing company. Just because you publish one book doesn't mean they're going to do your second. So she has a website, but she just didn't like posting on it. She loves Facebook. And she also happens to be a modern quilter. And so she was really focusing on her younger audience. But when we looked at her metrics on Facebook as to who her most engaged fans were, it was not her younger audience, it was the 50 and over audience. And I said, Jennifer, you might like modern, but those are not the ladies who are spending money with you. The ones who are spending money are the ones who are 50 and over. And one of her goals was she needed to make an income. She wasn't just doing this for fun. So I said, those are the people who are willing to pay for what you've got. And those are the people that you need to reach out to. And she's been able to do that. And Facebook was able to tell her that. So that's something that you want to take a look at. The last thing that you want to look at, and this is really important because we talked about the quilting and fiber arts market has shrunk 23%. A lot of people have gone out of business. AQS Publishing is no longer in business.
QPN.
Yeah, that broke my heart.
NQA.
NQA. This is QPN, Kathleen.
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry.
don't think that they
Quilter's
do
newsletter,
people
right?
That's the one.
QPN.
Quilter's newsletter. That one broke my heart.
Yeah.
My question.
Well, that simply happened because they were actually, Jordan Hall is a client of mine, and she is one of the Lehman family. And she said that happened because the Quilter's newsletter was bought out by F&W Publications. And it just went through several hands, and there was just nobody who was passionate about it. It was nobody's love. And it was a number on a spreadsheet somewhere. And that's what happens. So, but when you're in a smaller market, you've got to be able to differentiate yourself. How are you going to be able to differentiate what you do to that aging quilter population who's going to say, I'm willing to pay for what you've got? That's really important. Because otherwise, that's the difference between somebody who searches for a free pattern on the internet or who buys your pattern. Why are they going to buy your pattern when they can find thousands of free patterns on the internet? because you are able to teach them or enable them to do something that they can't do with those free patterns. And you've been able to communicate that clearly in your marketing. You've shown the benefit to them. Something that you cannot do for free. That's what you've got to be able to do. Why do people drop $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 on a long arm machine when they're not going to use it professionally? Why do they use a free pattern and then spend thousands on a long arm? Why do you think?
Because I wanted to do it myself. That was my reasoning. I didn't originally buy my long arm to go into business.
Right.
My mother said to me, "You're going into business, and here's your first customer." And it was her.
Okay, but why a long arm? I mean, you can make.
I was not able to.
Exactly. The long arm enabled you to do something that you couldn't do otherwise.
Right.
That's what the long arm does. For an aging quilter, you can get more quilts done. You're not wearing out your hands. You know, it enables you to get more quilts done in a shorter amount of time. There are no free long arm machines, so you've got to pay for it. So, you know, you've got to differentiate what you do from those freebies out there. How are you different, and how is your value more than what people can find for free on the internet? And that's what's going to make the difference between people watching a free YouTube video or paying for what you offer. Okay. Let's see, testimonials. Testimonials are gold. If you have testimonials from people who have used your services, bought your patterns, bought your fabric, and use it, the best testimonials you have are the, pictures of the quilts that people have made. You know, those are the best testimonials. That is what you call social proof. It's proof of people using your product or service and they're happy with it. And people want to see that. It's like the reviews on Amazon or on Yelp. People want to see that. What makes you unique, and then craft a compelling story. That's kind of the why. Why do you do what you do? I shared with you guys my why last night. Why do I do social media online classes.com? Well, now
You live rural.
yeah, I
travel and
I had to hustle. I had to hustle in selling, a product that I had spent $25,000 on. I had no marketing budget. And then once I was successful with it, people said, how did you do it?
Right.
Teach me how to do it. That's my why. So the why is not going to convince somebody to buy from you, but it helps them to trust you. And that is something that's really important. Online, everybody is afraid of being scammed. It's a truism. Everyone is afraid of being scammed. If they don't have a personal connection with you in real life, they are afraid of being scammed. Okay. Any questions about a social media strategy? Okay, I want to hear social media strategies from you guys. Lisa, what is your social media strategy? Who is your customer?
Oh, well, the affluent postmenopausal woman. I have the dye students, and I have a niche of the quilting people who are Nancy Crow students. And right now I have orders for solids that's going to require me to run my washing machine for 100 different colors. So I have concrete orders for 100 pieces of fabric, and I need to make that pay for itself by, throwing another 3 pieces in with each wash load. So I have to sell those other 300 pieces to those people. That's my short-term focus.
If I were you, I would totally be doing a Facebook ad targeted to people who like Nancy Crow.
You can target that narrow.
If she has enough Facebook likes on her page, yes. You have to have about 5,000 likes, but you can also you can get really granular with it. You can target people like if there's a dyers association, or there's other interests that you can do, and that's something that we can talk about in your one-on-one coaching, or at lunch.
Yeah, that might be the best time to.
Okay. Nancy, where's your audience?
Not much.
I'm not sure where
I
they
have
are.
a bunch.
I know I have a Facebook following, but it's like friends of mine and fellow weavers.
And that's because you haven't really been using Facebook as a professional yet.
right.
Would that be right?
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay, but you know that they are on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that they're on Facebook, so that's good. That's good. Vicki, how are you going to execute? How are you going to reach out to Longwood Gardens? If that's your big goal, how are you going to get in there to teach a class?
To teach a class? I don't want to teach a class.
You want your pins in there?
No, I want
You
my
wanna-
fiber. I want my.
You want a demo there, and
I guess I could do that.
it's a
Okay,
way
so
of.
what do you want at Longwood Gardens?
Yeah, what do you want at Longwood?
I would like my work to be there.
Your big pieces?
The big pieces?
Now, big. We're not talking
Yeah.
huge.
8 by 10.
Your fiber
These are
pieces
big.
or flour,
Okay.
flour
This is
pounding
big.
pieces?
Okay.
Okay.
She
And how are
uses
you
flour
going to do
pounding
that?
in her fiber
Oh.
big pieces.
Maybe if I had a business Facebook page that was specifically just the poundings. Because my website has everything I do.
That's okay. That's okay. It doesn't have to be. That's okay. And this is a baby step. You know, you don't have to make a change to your website. Start with what you have now. You know, what if you just posted on your, not on even your business page, what if you posted on your Facebook profile? I would love for my fiber art pieces to be carried at Longwood Gardens. Who has a contact there that they could share with me? You would be amazed.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
Mary
Just in
Jane
this
went
great
right up.
intent.
My husband
Right.
delivers orchids.
Right. You've
It's a
got to
small
put it out
world.
there. You've got to put it out there. And tomorrow I'm going to show you how to tag Longwood Gardens in that post so they can see it. Which is really super easy.
Hey, Ellie Levy just recently posted something with a picture of her from Longwood Gardens. Actually, it was from last July. But,
There you go. See?
and
What was she doing there?
she just went there, and
You never know.
yep.
You never know. Okay, ladies, we're going to wrap this up. I know we went over, but I really wanted to make time to get, deep into everybody's business and get examples for you. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you, everybody on Facebook. We're going to stop the Facebook Live broadcast.